Well, hey guys, tonight I'm going to practice my IELTS exam for the topic about the noise. So I wanted to describe a noise that makes me aggravating quite a lot. So let's start the topic. So I just mark down the time as usual to measure how long should I take to talk about this topic. So let's begin. So as far as I could recall, there were something really make me aggravating about the noise this the last weekend. So it was still fresh in my mind because it just happened recently. I was working in my bedroom to listen to something really important that need to report back to my office at the next Monday. So I just really concentrated on the material, and because this material is so important that I didn't turn on some music that I would normally do in my other work. So when I was reading the material, I heard because the atmosphere around my bedroom was so quiet, but suddenly there there was an awful lot of dog barking occurred in my backyard. So, because my bedroom, which was situated near to the backyard, so the noise was very noticeable. So, at first, I on some music to drown out the noise, but because the noise was so loud and it keep on the dog keep on barking from an incessant of about 15 minutes, that it really makes my head migraine. It really makes me crazy. So I want to look outside to see what's going on with the bark. So I found there was a stranger which crawled across of my backyard that makes the dog next to my house keep barking. So I think the dog may be scared of or maybe aware of the stranger that it feels very dangerous to to the backyard or to its house. But fortunately, the dog stopped barking as the strangers has passed by. Uh, Actually, if this kind of noise occurred, there was nothing I can hear because it has blocked out all other voices that I can heard. So, but fortunately enough, there's quite a long time this dog didn't bark again, and I think based on some reasons, my neighbor has sent his dog out of his house. For there's a new baby born in his house, so it's lucky for me. I've no longer worried about this kind of noise to distract my work again. So this is my sharing for the noise. So we discussed about the past three question. Uh, So the past three questions I might be asked, is noise a problem? Arguably, yes, noise is a very annoying problem that many citizens face today. The noise could cause some elders, which was kind of feel shocked than normal people. When they heard about the noise, they may tend to fall over to the road. So that's kind of a dangerous thing to some elderly people or some passengers across across the noise sound of noise. So it's quite a big problem. And the noise in some places, especially the quiet places for study, like the museum, that would make the visitors in the museum or in the library become distracted. They can no longer appreciate the art or some literature inside the museum or the library. So it's kind of a noticeable distraction that many find it very annoying and very it's a really a concern problem for many of the human beings. So next question comes, uh, is more noise than before? So my answer would be, yeah. With the development of technology and increased urbanization, there are much more noises than before. When in the past, people tend to live in a very separated area. Some people live in the desolate areas while others live in the cities. So the noise would not be as concentrated as before. But in nowadays, with the development of technology and the influx of the citizens in the central cities, there are loads of voice that occurred in the central city than ever before. People with more people it was living there, and the more factory has been constructed in the central city, and also with the influx of the citizens, more people will bring in their cars, and many people have interest to own their cars, which leads to the build up cars in the road, and the construction of the road will make people very impatient, lined up in the traffic road with their cars, so they will honking their horns, and the traffic noise would be a major noise in our cities. So, and also with the increased amount of the factory, there are uh, the the some toxic exhaust of the factory would be growing. So there are more and more pollution inside our cities as well. So what's the cause of the noises? I think the major cause of the noises is the influx of the citizens. Many citizens tend to move in the central city, so there are a lot of noises generated from this influx of population as some workers, more numbers of workers are shouting with each other, and also I think most of the citizens tend to own their cars, so they bring in their cars, make the road easy to be congested than ever before, and those congestions make people to honking their horns, which is a big contributor to some city noises that we hear today. So that's a kind of a major causes of the noise, I think. So do you think there's an effective way to address the noise? I think there's not an extractive effective ways to address the noise, although many governments and officials want to regulate the noise by impose some rules and regulations to try to reduce the noises that we heard. But because the major cause of the noise is the influx of the population, so with the technology development and some industry revolution, the urbanization of the city has been increased faster than ever before. So the noises that generated by the factory production or some workers shouting or even the car exhaust, that kind of thing, could be major contributors to our noises. So I think the noise problem can be addressed quite effectively because the urbanization and the modernization of the industry are inevitable factors nowadays. So that's my sharing today. Hope you guys enjoy. Bye bye.